We'll get there.
Yeah, someday.
Yeah, someday.
All right. Well, welcome to Mr. E's live review. Today we have Dave with La Touraine Watches.
Hey, everybody.
Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, there's YouTube's awfully slow with the notifications, so it usually takes about a minute and a half before anybody even shows up.
All good. I'm connecting to the chat right now anyway.
Yeah, well, actually, I need to shrink this back down. See, that's the only thing I don't like about this. Like, I can either look at it in base screen, or I can see like the comments here off to the side, and it's in the small screen.
Huh.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I guess it'll let you read the comments somehow if you got it in big screen mode. But normally, I just got it in the small screen where we can see that. Let's see. We can change up the picture too on the whatchamacallit there. Put that one up there. There we go. But yeah, so what have you been up to? Anything good?
Job searching, job hunting. Posting on. I've been posting on TikTok pretty regularly, like 3 to 4 times a day. Joining some lives on there, and it's been really working out well. We're doing a giveaway for to get to 1,000 followers. I started at like, I don't want to say like a month or two ago, not even 2 months ago. I had like 394 followers because I just abandoned the platform a while back because I thought it was going to get banned. And then I just rejoined it probably a little bit under 2 months ago. And now I have it up to 915 just by posting and, three, 4 times a day. And it's been working on Instagram to a degree. I think my Instagram is penalized a little bit, but it's working to a degree on Instagram as well, which has been fun. I didn't know that this is what it looked like when you started to get all those notifications.
Oh yeah. No, I've actually seen a couple of videos and whatnot here on YouTube where they're talking about different things you can do to help your videos get out there and get traction and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm already doing most of them, and like there's 1 or 2 things that I'm going to have to try. Specifically, when you're doing your description and all that stuff, you got to scroll way down to the bottom of the page, and you just click off of like, I think it's like really show it to your subscribers. So it goes out in the main feed because typically, once somebody subscribes to your channel, your stuff is no longer shown in the regular home feed. It is only on the subscription feed. And if you don't go in the subscription feed or don't realize that that's there, that's why you don't see your stuff, the channels you've subscribed to anymore.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. And because I realized it one day, I was like, why am I not seeing a lot of the stuff that I like to see, the channels that I'm subscribed to and all that? And then I happened to notice there was another little thing that at the very bottom on my phone said subscription. You click that, and that's all your subscribed channels that you've subscribed to. Well, most people don't realize it's there. They don't never look at anything unless it's on the home feed. And therefore, people subscribing to your channel kills your channel because it then only shows the stuff to the people who have subscribed. And the people don't know that shit is there because they're looking on the wrong feed. Yeah.
Yep. Not great.
So what's up to our one viewer out there? You got any questions for Dave here with La Touraine Watches? Please put them in the comments. We'll be happy to put them up on the screen and answer any questions you guys might have. All right. Well, never mind. You just went away. I don't know how accurate the counter is.
I think the views come. I think the views come when you post the live later. That's what I've seen. Like when I try to do live on Instagram, it's the same thing. Like you're like, "Hey, welcome to the chat," and then they drop right off. You're like, "Okay."
Yeah, exactly.
Nice talking to you.
And I mean, especially like with the title of this video, it's kind of, very self-explanatory. It's questions and answers with La Touraine watches,
Yep.
you know. So if
Yep.
you're going to tune in, I mean, have a question, looking for an answer. But I don't know. It's kind of funny. I seen a video the other day. It was about Burger King and like their business model and all this other stuff, but it was talking about specifically how they have overestimated the general population's fucking knowledge. Like, do you remember way back in the day they actually came out with the third pounder?
Yeah, I know that whole story. Americans thought quarter pounder was more.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's just like, wow. They're like, well, four is bigger. It's like, yes, but it's in a fraction. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know fractions.
Yeah. So it really makes you kind of question, like, how you market to people and everything like that. Because uh, there was another example from them where they did something or whatever, and like there was a real bad knee jerk reaction to it, and like basically all they were doing was trying to say that hey, we need to get more women chefs in the kitchen, or
Oh no.
make women chefs, so yeah, it came out as like,
Yeah.
yeah, we need more women in the kitchen, kind of thing. And
I always wondered like where like who's like reviewing these ideas before they go out into the general population. Like I feel like there needs to be some sort of break on some of these ideas that you can just let's slow that one down a little bit. Have you seen like I mean, obviously you probably have seen like the CEO of McDonald's trying to eat his own burger.
I did not actually watch the video. The thing popped up in my feed, and I'm like, no, I'm good on that. So go ahead and tell me what happens.
So basically, the guy looks like he doesn't look very healthy to begin with. He's like very pale faced, like very like thin. His shoulders are like this, you know. So he's
Yeah,
not like a person who would normally be on camera. And then he talks about the burger. He's like, this product is we really are excited about this product, and allow me to take a bite of this. And he like takes like this tiniest like I don't even think he got meat. I think he just got the bread. And then he's just like, so good. Like just like completely I mean, if you were making fun of somebody doing a taste testing, that's kind of what you would do, right? And
gotcha.
then they immediately like do a jump cut in the video, and then he's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to finish the rest of this for lunch, including our product of fries or something like that." This uh, it was definitely a good look into how not to do things from an authenticity standpoint. And he's been getting roasted. So like every other CEO of every other fast food chain is doing their own version of the video now. Um, so I don't know. He definitely has gotten viral. So there's that.
So okay, so let me get the take here.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be eating it like it was the best thing in the world, and took a bite out of it more like it was somebody handed him a literal shit sandwich,
Yep.
and he actually knows what goes into it, so therefore it very well may be a shit sandwich, and hence why he wouldn't take a big bite out of it.
He talked like as if it was not food. He talked like it was like some sort of like I don't know medicine or product or chemical or something. You're exactly right because he was like, we have successfully tested this on New Zealand, in New Zealand and in some other like foreign market. It's just like okay, it's an odd way of presenting this. So I guess it's safe for consumption if it's okay with them, right? It was just yeah. I mean. It's tough, man. Like I've worked in corporate world my entire life. I've done pretty well, and you definitely have like the sanitized version of speech and like what you can and cannot say and how you can and cannot act, because it's all basically to appeal to as many people as possible and be as inoffensive as possible to as many people. And that's just kind of the culture of corporate. So you have the CEO up there talking in such a manner, I can kind of see how you get to that. But at the same token, like if you're really excited about what you're selling, you believe in it, and you actually enjoy what you sell, then I feel like that will just come through in spades. And the way that it was approached for that particular video, it did not appear like he shared any of those factors.
I hear that. Well, in that case, he needs to take a page from La Touraine Watches on how to be authentic and how to keep it real.
Yeah,
You know,
I
mean,
just
I understand.
I would love to be a CEO of a burger place. I mean, just imagine, like at the end of the day, like your chief product is to make people happy that they're eating your food. Like that's pretty awesome in my opinion. But apparently, I guess when you live it, it's a little bit different. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if I was going to do anything like that, I think I would go more of the Waffle House route. They seem to pay their employees right good, and like those employees have got dedication, man. I mean, when it comes to teamwork and whooping somebody's ass, buddy,
That's what I was
like
about to
they are
say.
not fair. Not like they are not above of let's do this
Uh-huh.
fairly. It's like nah, fuck that. We're grabbing some chairs. We're jumping over this counter. I bet you better run.
I remember I went to Atlanta Dragway in Commerce, Georgia, and we were done with race night. It was like a test and tune in college, and like it was probably like 1, 2 in the morning. It was pretty late. We were out late. Went to the Waffle House near the track, and the guy making our breakfast was using a shiv to flip to flip everything. It's like, all right, I'm in the right spot. You know that those eggs are going to be good.
Yeah. No, look, man, tonight again talking about like how corporate stuff responds and whatnot. I seen a meme the other day where a guy was talking shit about Waffle House and their cooks and like the food and everything like that. Then too, it was like the Waffle House response, and this was the corporate response was like, pull up to any one of our locations and tell the cook that to his face. We dare you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go ahead, come through.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll show
yeah.
you what's up. You know what I'm saying? You go outside with a two-piece.
It's like that Mike Tyson quote, right? Like social media made everybody way too comfortable.
Yep. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, I just thought that was hilarious. Like corporate was like, look, you go to any location and go ahead and walk inside. We dare you. Say that. See what
Yeah.
happens.
There, I want to say, when was the last time you went to a Waffle House?
Actually, I went to the one up in Radford when I went to my boy's mom's funeral. I think that was like October.
Okay, okay.
So
It's
it's been a while.
been a little bit longer here, but I just remember they used to have this like ribeye and like egg special, and it was. I mean, at the time, I mean, this is before all the money printing craziness, but like it was like I want to say it was like $12 for like that whole meal. It was good, man. Like I kept going back for breakfast like as often as I could to get that. It was so good. It was like $12. So I love Waffle House, man. It's a good place. But I'm not talking to the cook rudely, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it was funny because the last time I went in there and whatnot, I actually was telling the girls and the cook and everything that worked there. There's a channel called The Fat Electrician. I don't know if you've ever seen it or whatever, but if you have or haven't, please check it out. It's excellent. But he's got two channels: the Fat Files and the Fat Electrician. The Fat Electrician mainly deals with military stuff. Fat Files is like companies that he spotlights and shit.
Mhm.
Well, at any rate, he did a whole thing on Waffle House, and basically the premise behind it and the guy who started it is all impressive, but like how they handle hurricanes and all that kind of other shit, and
Mhm.
you know super impressive model, because basically I didn't realize it, but like say a hurricane's going to hit here, well, all the people that live and work here get to go home and be with their families, and they import people from other Waffle Houses outside of the area that aren't going to be affected to work the Waffle House.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
like,
nice. That's good. Yeah.
well, like not only that, but dude, like they got a whole big ass book that's like, anything goes down,
Hmm.
all the way down to a car drives through the front of the store, how to keep the store open and running.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
dude, like they run everything off of propane. You know what I'm saying? Just so
Mm-hmm.
they can have propane tanks in case shit goes bad. And like the shit goes out. Like basically, they got a playbook for everything.
That's incredible.
For our two viewers that are here, please, if you guys got any questions that you would like to ask La Touraine Watches, Dave here, please just put them over in the comments. If you got anything else, oh fuck, I scared them off, dude. Like as soon as I said something, boop, they're gone, both of them. They're like, oh, they're talking to us directly.
Well, the Waffle House part. I think if you haven't been to one, it's hard to relate. But in the South, Waffle House is amazing, and I highly recommend everybody to go to one at least once in their life, if not a dozen times, because it's a whole culture.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy like the different ways you can get the hash browns and stuff because sometimes I'm just like, just give me the hash browns, but other times, it's like the cheese and the onions and the tomatoes and
Yeah, you load them
ham
up.
chunks like that. That's pretty banging.
Yeah, I'll usually go for like an omelet, and but like I said, like the ribeye special at the time was top notch.
Yeah, because they got another one. It's like their breakfast all-star platter or whatever. I think it's only like $7.99.
That's really good.
Yeah, well, you get everything, including I think a waffle.
Can we pull up the Waffle House menu real quick on the screen?
Do I now?
We should pull.
Oh, I mean, I probably can.
Yeah. What we got here? Let's see what they got. High protein breakfast for $7.99. So you can get 2 eggs, hash brown extras, a cheesesteak omelet. That would be really good. Yeah, it's not bad, man. There's one right here in Queen City Drive. God, I have to check that out. Oh yeah, they also have good waffles, obviously. Yeah. All right, I feel a trip's coming.
Yeah, damn it. I'm trying to pull it up. Waffle House menu. No, we don't need to pick up. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a Waffle House near me right here. Damn it.
Well, next time you're near Charlotte, we'll have to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them in Virginia Beach, dude. And I mean,
Okay.
Like I have to go all the way up to there, which it's I say it like that, but you know what I'm saying? It's only like an hour drive.
Oh, really? I didn't know that you were that close. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I work in Virginia Beach,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of them things. Excuse me. But yeah, here, hang on a second. That should be. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
That should be showing.
Those are good marketing photos.
Yeah, because I think it's the All-Star Special. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. You get basically eggs, bacon, everything, and it's either grits or hash browns.
Hey, Jody. We're just talking about Waffle House, waiting for the room to fill up. But today we're talking anything La Touraine. So if you have any questions about any of the recent releases, anything that we're looking at doing in the future, drop a question and I'm happy to answer them. And in the meantime, we're just enjoying photos of bacon and eggs and stuff because, I think we're both a little hungry.
Yeah, we're just goofing off, man. Like, we were trying to talk watches. We had like 2 people watching earlier. As soon as I said hi and like focused in, but hey, what's up? Y'all got a question? They were like, boop, gone. I mean, they were just out. So then we started talking about Waffle House and how they run their shit. Next thing you know, here we go. We got bacon and eggs on the screen.
I mean,
that's
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like.
There you go. Yep, you do. You absolutely do.
I mean, whatever it takes to get the people in here, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've never really done their biscuits, but let's see where. Because you were talking about the egg breakfast, it's got to be in here. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's a T-bone. It used to be a ribeye. So times are tough, but it used to be a ribeye. Wait, there's a drop-down menu. Sirloin and eggs. Okay, we're getting closer.
Okay. Yeah. Still, that's not a ribeye, man.
Mm-mm. Nope. It just goes to show you. That was probably, well, I mean, that was 2015. That I was there. So things have changed a bit.
Yeah. Well, like, there's another place called Huddle House around
Yeah.
here that I go hit up, and like they also do ribeye, but the problem is and again most breakfast steaks is they're very thin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's super hard, like you know, to get a ribeye cooked correctly. You know what I mean?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Not have it overcooked because of how thin it was. Yeah, it was, they were not like thick, and they were not like a steakhouse or anything. It was a very basic, it was a very basic one. Um, but yeah, that was over 10 years ago now. Well, I'm due.
yeah, Jody says that he ain't really down for that kind of lifestyle no more. He don't get down like that.
All good. I mean, can't eat like you used to. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, he works out more than anybody else I know. Like he is at the gym constantly.
We got some. So this is the new navigation on the website. Try to simplify it a little bit, make it a little bit more sense for people. So you can check it out by movement. You can check it out by price range, uh, the type of watch, and all of this here is to kind of walk through what this all means, but it's also to do the it's also for SEO. So if you're wondering like what is all this writing, it's so that Google picks up the page and starts ranking it. Um, but the two newest releases are the Heritage Racer Noir, which is the exact same as the previous version of Heritage Racer, but I tweaked the colors on it, and then I enlarged the crown so it's easier for people to wind it every day. Other than that, the other main change is that we didn't have the stainless band this time around at launch. I'm still working on that to get those in stock, but in the meantime, it comes with leather and NATO. Uh, Same strong loom as before. Actually, I think the loom on this one might look a little bit better than the prior version. And
I agree with that.
yeah, it seems like it came out stronger. Um, and the dial is just a little bit easier to, I think, pick up the numbers on it and to be able to find the time on this version due to the color difference and the contrast between the hands and the dial. But yeah, this is Heritage Racer Noir. Still DLC coated case, so it still has that high scratch resistance. Still ceramic bezel. Still sapphire sandwich. Still uses the ST1902, which that's an adventure in itself. We were. This has been. If you remember the original Heritage Racer, it was delayed quite a while, and it was due to trying to get the case mold correct. We were trying to get as thin of a case as possible to fit the ST1902 in it, but then also I just want to see how thin we can make it. And so that took us, I think at the time it was supposed to be 90-day production. It took like 5 months to come in. Not great. People were upset, but they did get their watches with everything and then some. Then with Heritage Racer Noir, we had the case mold done. So that wasn't the delay. The delay was in the movements. So the ST1902, Siegel decided that they wanted to have a 10,000 MOQ for the movements. And as a small independent watch brand, I can't afford 10,000 Siegel movements. The cost that's roughly like $1.23 million for you to buy the MOQ. And so basically we had to hook and crook our way to getting brand new ST1902 movements. So we would get like 20 at like one shot and then like 10 in another shot from third party suppliers to the manufacturer. And we were able to cobble together this run of 50. And what's nice is that by seeing the need of this watch, manufacturer I've been partnering with for like 5 years now, went and secured like 200 ST1902s for me to continue production of this watch for other colorways and color variants, and then restock. So, and they'll be buying more in the future too. They found an alternate vendor. So, the good news, I guess, out of all of this is while we've had a lot of delays with this watch, we've been able to secure the movements. We have the case molds, like, from an iterative perspective, the watch just keeps getting better, and the timelines just start to drop and compress on it, so that we're able to do more of them. But for this version, I mean, I don't really have a lot of changes to make anymore with it. I feel like it's pretty much done. The stainless band will have a couple tweaks to it versus the last one, which you'll see soon. But other than that, I think we're just going to be doing a panda, a reverse panda. I'll bring back the OG colorway for this. Maybe I'll have a different color patina on that, just a touch. And yeah, that's Heritage Racer. It's going to be the tachymeter for our entire lineup.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good looking watch. I prefer the black dial over the black and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually say like the one like if you could do some kind of a black and a blue type dial, you know what I'm saying? Like black dial with like, blue mini dials or whatever. Like that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
But yeah, I mean the only other thing that I would like to do with the Heritage Racer would, eventually, and again, I understand about, limited different chronograph movements and stuff like that, but eventually for it to get an automatic movement in there, so that way you can actually do a screw down crown and all that kind of good stuff. Because screw down crown with a manual movement it's pretty much impossible to do. You're asking for a lot of warranty stuff because people are, again, as we were talking about the Burger King quarter pound, third pound thing earlier.
Yeah.
You can explain that until you're blue in the face on how that works, and that's not going to work out right.
No, you got a great point there. I had a warranty return. Guy was extremely upset. He was not very polite in his responses to me. And so I said, just send the watch back. I'll refund you the money, which I don't normally do, but I just don't like to deal with someone that upset. And I got the watch in. The guy just overwound it. Like he broke the movement by overwinding it. And if you have a manual wind, you know that there's a point of resistance that lets you know, hey, don't wind me any further. And he didn't, and he just kept going. He just shattered the gear train. So send it to your friend Mahmoud at Geneva Watch,
yeah.
And he fixed it up, and he got down to like 1 second per day on his repaired movement, and it's pretty incredible. But to your point, like if it was an automatic, that wouldn't have happened. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that and you just get that little bit of added extra water resistance out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the rest of the case and everything like that, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be able to go 200 or 300 foot deep. I mean, with the exception of the pushers, because
the pushers are the pushers are the main reason why it's limited in water resistance.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's not a dive watch anyways. But you know what I mean? It just, if it had the automatic movement, then you could have a screw down crown, and then that's just a tiny little bit extra insurance. But like I said, it just, again, you're gonna have that one guy that I'm gonna push the pushers while I'm in the hot tub. It's like, and there's all kinds of things wrong with that statement, Slick. But number one, like, why are you moving shit under the water? Like,
and that's something I was talking to someone else about. They were asking, like, is this really rated 10 ATM? I'm like, yeah, just don't push the pushers in. And 10 ATM is twice what the Omega does. So, it's pretty good for a tachymeter as it is from, water resistance perspective. But, I wouldn't go deep sea diving with it, and I wouldn't use the pushers, and I definitely wouldn't take it into a sauna or any watch for that matter. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But these are the things you learn when you have returns and you have warranty repairs. Like it was a complete shock to me, some of the things that would get sent in, because I never would have thought that someone would even attempt to do this with the watch. And here we are, and it's in my hands. I'm like, wow, they did a number on this thing. Yeah, it's just it's the other side of the sales process.
Oh yeah, no, because like, especially when I'm giving a watch to somebody, and I'm handing it to them personally, I always show them how that crown operates before I actually hand it over. I'm like, do you understand what I'm telling you? Like, don't just nod and shit, because if you don't, you're gonna break this motherfucker. And like, for real, we'll go over it until you do, until you do get what I mean. So yeah, it's really strange to me how like even people that are mechanics, it's like
Mhm.
okay, it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. You got to unscrew it, do this and do that, and like they'll be over there fucking trying to wrench down on it. It's like no, left is back towards you until it pops out. Then you can do all your shit. Then you got to screw it back down.
Yeah,
Even I was still had
what's
to explain it more than once.
well, I mean, the user manual tells you all of this, and then I also on the website would write mechanical, self wind. But if people don't know those terms, then obviously that's not going to apply to them. But I mean, I could create a video on it as well, and I did create a video on how to use the Heritage Racer, and it did get some decent views on it. But I don't know if that's the person who's behind the watch is seeing that or not. And let alone if I've had people that will buy right off of my website and they won't read the description at all. And in the description, they'll say like, it has this, doesn't have this, do that, right? And they won't even read the website that it's on. So there's just a certain limit of, at a certain point, like it's self-error, user responsibility. Unless they want me to show up to their house and show them how to use it, which I'll have to start charging a lot more for the watches for all the flight tickets.
Well, like honestly, what you should do is that when you go to send out these videos or send out the watches, have a barcode thing that has the link to the video in it.
That's good, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, look, I am not good about reading stuff because most of the time when they are trying to explain it in just words on paper, my brain does not comprehend and is working too hard on trying to understand what it is that they're telling me. And if it gets technical, it gets really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, screw it, I'll just figure it out. Where fortunately for me, I'm mechanically inclined, so I do figure it out most of the time. But you know what I'm saying? There are also other times where, you got your hands like on one chronograph that I have, and I mean, I broke it. I'm not even trying to front. I pushed the wrong button at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like I was intending to, but I went to stopwatch it and I just had fingers on both of them and I operated the wrong finger, and that was it.
This was not this was not the Heritage Racer though, everybody.
No. This was a Sugis Daytona lookalike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just, I would love to fault the watch or the company and whatnot, but like I straight up know I hit the reset button instead of the stop button, and that was all she wrote.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the 1902 hasn't that issue, because I would have broken it several times by doing that if it did. But no, I always go back to like other brands and like what watches that I bought from them and like what level of documentation they have about really anything, and it's pretty sparse. Like even like the Speedmaster, it came with this thick book, which everything is just spelled out of like, here's how to use it, here's what not to do, which is no different than what's in the user manual that I got. But then like they give you like a big marketing brochure that's just talking about the journey to the moon and like how the watch was tested to get to the moon, and that's it. So I plus your warranty cards, of course, but like that's pretty much it. So I think if I did like a barcode approach for like YouTube videos that were professionally done, that might actually be a good idea. I mean, that's a good idea because then I could help people who are just new to watch collecting, new to the watch in general. So I'll talk to Andrew Bentley about that, who's our videographer, photographer.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I would do because that way, you know what I'm saying? Number one, it's a personal touch. You get to actually say, hey, thank you, blah, 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 for buying this watch because that's how they would have the barcode. And you're not relying on the YouTube feed to send it or get them directed to it. You know what I'm saying? Just send a direct link, and that way, if they screw it up, you know what I'm saying? You can have one on there, the warranty process.
Yeah.
So you fucked up your watch. All right. You know,
Can I have you appear for the warranty one?
yeah, there you go. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
have you, we'll have
so
you like
you've
in a
done something
tuxedo.
stupid
We'll have you like in a
about the
proper
watch.
like a
Now
nice
you want us
tuxedo,
to
and be
fix
like,
it.
so you effed up your watch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Let's be real with it. You want us to help you out, okay? Like, just tell us what you did, and we'll do what we
Be
can to help
honest.
you out.
Be honest, because we're gonna find out what you did.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're gonna know, and if you lie, you're gonna have to you're gonna pay to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just tell us, it'd be much quicker and easier, and we can keep the cost down. Okay, so
Uh, it's so true. I mean, that would be it'd be entertaining at the very least. But yeah, we let me look into that with Andrew, because I think that that would be something that could be fun too. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it's kind of
mean,
like those in-flight videos you would get from like Delta or somebody, and they're like talking about the safety rules and processes, and like they
exactly.
try to make fun of it, you know, in some ways, just so it's not quite as cut and dry and boring. We could do something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, look and see, and you can do it like this with the whole like this is an owner's manual and how an operation manual and all this stuff, and you can have on there. It's like if you're here in the owner's manual now, trying to figure out how to properly operate the watch after you've already fucked it up, please see our other video. So you fucked up your watch. You know what I'm saying? In our warranty process.
What we cover, what we don't cover.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah,
dropped a
I
hammer on your watch, not covered.
I
Your
was
dog
going.
ate it and then shit it out. It's not covered.
Yeah, I think it was like Seafair. I think I mean it might have been Seafair or Maritime, one of the two. I don't know. But back in the day, I was actually thinking about just running over one with one of my cars. It's kind of just like, how did it hold up? Will that get warranted? No.
Yeah, well, see, like that's the whole problem, Huntington. Like you put a video up like that you ran over and whatnot, you're gonna have all kinds of idiots out there wanting to turn in all kinds of dumb stuff. It's like,
I know.
no, I
Gotta
mean,
be careful.
it'd be
Yeah.
great that it took it, but you know what I'm saying? Like after that, it's like, oh,
Fair
I
game.
dropped a 12-pound sledgehammer on it. It's like from 30 feet.
Dropped it
I
off the
need this
Empire
covered. You ran it over with a 2,000-pound car. But speaking about holding up and whatnot, I mean, this one's actually held up quite nice. Hamilton.
Thank
Let
you.
me go back to the just no, no, that wasn't what I wanted. Hold on, is it this one? Yeah, there we go. But this has held up very nice.
Oh, good. Good.
The brushing and everything like that. I mean, even on the clasp and the buckle, and that's typically where I really scratch up a watch is on the clasp.
Same.
On an oyster, I'll tear up the center links and whatnot. But I mean, this one has held up quite well. And I mean, as far as like wearing it during work and all that stuff, it's actually gotten a good bit of action. I'm not sure exactly whether, you were really thinking, oh, let me do the brush sides so that way it
Mhm.
hides stuff better or not. But like that has definitely worked out. So
Thank
I would
you.
say it's an excellent tool to watch.
Thank you. That's really what I was going for. And you see the chamfered edges along the case where it's more polished. That was one of
Yeah.
the things I did call out for the design work, was that I wanted this to the watch to pop, but also have like that refined finishing like you would find on something a little bit higher end, as opposed to the slab of metal that was the original Seafair. And I don't mean to drag that watch either. It was priced completely different than this one is. But yeah, this one was really. I'm holding one in my hand. Like just the brush finishes on the side. That was the design choice, because from Heritage Racer with the DLC code, I kept remembering how you had to keep polishing it, right? So I was thinking, okay, let me go brush on this one so it doesn't quite show all the fingerprint marks as much. And then we did the edge on the bezel a little bit different than the prior Seafarers as well, with more of a bright finish on the cuts on that one. But the chamfered edges are really where I just wanted to bring out that additional refinement that hadn't been there before necessarily. Although on the second generation Seafarer, you did have that as well a little bit, but just wasn't on that. It wasn't on this like flat of a case. a lot of time was spent on, I want this to be as thin as possible with the 9015, because if you're using 9015, why not, right?
Yeah.
You just wasting space if you were to make this like a 15 millimeter, 16 millimeter tall dive watch, like, some of the ones that are out there. Um, the one thing that I am going to look into, though, you mentioned scratch resistance. I know that Traska, I think, has that DLC coating applied, a clear DLC coat. I don't think they call it DLC, but I imagine it's something similar. I wonder if that's something I can get away with for the next version for like the bracelet itself and the clasp, because then that would give the tool watch like the ability to handle scratches at a level that, you know, most just would not be able to do, based on the experience with Heritage Racer.
Yeah. Now, the only other thing that I would say, on the next batch or next setup, the oyster bracelet, um, I would do polish or not polished, but just brush center links.
Yeah,
And the only reason why I'm saying that is that, like in the water, that might be like attracting the, something
sharks.
you don't want to be attracting, like, you start hearing da 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 da, or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Most fishing lures are shiny. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Well, my thinking was like, shark attacks in the office are pretty rare. They've
yeah,
been
I know
climbing over
that's most
recent
people
years.
don't be wearing it too.
Yeah, they've been climbing over recent years, but I think that they've started to kind of die down a little bit with, you're sitting at your desk working in Excel and a shark just comes up and nails you. Uh, but no, I hear you. I'm kidding aside. Like, I think that those it's a highly, highly polished center link on this version, even more so than the Maritimer.
Hmm.
And once again, it was kind of like just to make this like extremely like luxury. But it's also a tool watch, and it's going to show fingerprints and some other things. So yeah, I think there's a better way of doing it, and so I'm going to look into that for the next version. The bracelets to me are where the tweaking and the iteration is going to occur. Last version was a butterfly clasp. This version was the first one that we had with the push button on the fly clasp, and I was very adamant about that because it's a proper dive watch. You need that. And then the sizing of the Jubilee. It's like I was telling you, it's really funny. Like we both saw like, okay, this has 4 extra permanent links than the Oyster, and
Hmm.
at the same time, Big Risk Syndicate and a few of the other reviewers that are out there that have like 9-inch, 9.5-inch wrists were getting the Jubilee, and they're like, this thing fits like a dream. the
Wow. I
the
mean,
first customer I got, I had applied the fix to the Jubilee bracelet for that you had taught me, and yeah, he called back and was just kind of like, hey, I need this resized. It doesn't have enough links in it. So I sent off some extra links for him to be able to get it back up to the size that it was out of the box. And I just thought that that was really funny,
yeah.
as the first
Well,
first customer.
yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, I bet you he's from like somewhere in the Midwest.
I don't know. Like, it's been. I mean, I'm not a huge person myself. I'm pretty average. I'm half Italian from near Philly. I'm not going to be a big person, but these guys, like, Big Wrist was like a former offensive lineman, so he's like 6'4", 290, like just huge, right? And this other individual, I think, was around the similar size. So yeah, I mean, they need links, and they run into a lot of issues with bracelet sizes in general. So having that flexibility to be able to give that to them with Seafarer was pretty fun.
Yeah. No, and I mean, and I'm glad it worked out at least for one or two people. You know what I mean? It just, you know, for and I don't know. Like I said, when I had to let you know about the situation and whatnot, I really wasn't sure what the right move was. Would be, let them handle it for them. If he was like in that situation there, okay, well, that guy actually needed them. You
Yeah,
know,
which I actually did some quick googling, like how many people in the population have a wrist of that size, because I was just wondering, like, from a market research perspective, like, am I missing something with the smaller bracelets? And it's actually larger than I thought it would be. It was up to 10% of the population. So with that in mind, I think what I'll do on the website is kind of add like a enter your wrist size type thing if you know it, and then that way I can start to just size them appropriately before they go out the door.
yeah, that would actually solve a good bit of that. There
We
we go.
hope, hopefully more people will be reading the website. But yeah, I'm hoping that that would help to, just make sure everybody gets the watch they want.
Yes, most definitely. And I mean, you know, for a lot of people, like again, for like me and you, we had a couple extra tools and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It
Well, yeah, you already know about the set screw thing. Like, so that's what kind of solves itself in the future, because I'm also working with a manufacturer on doing a custom watch tool. So traditionally, you can only get like the spring bar with like the push pin, outlet. And I've been trying to find someone that offers like a flathead for set screws, while also on the other end offering the spring bar tool. And nothing out of the box that I can find easily. So it's going to be a matter of like I need this end pasted onto this tool, and made custom for me so that I can get both of these for this watch. Kind of surprised by it, but it is what it is.
now with this bracelet and everything, one of the things that I noticed and whatnot, and it's actually gotten a little bit better with time. Like when I very first got the watch, it did not want to like sit. Oh, damn it!
It's fighting you again.
Out of my feet. But like the bracelet just did not want to sit down all the way. Is that just because the tolerances are so tight between the links that it can't articulate like backwards,
I
or
think
is it?
I think it's due to the end links and how tight the tolerances are with the lug design. I think that's what's setting it all up like that. Because if you look at the lug design with the end links and how it positions that first link off of that end link,
Hmm.
it already puts it at like a 45-degree-ish angle, and that might be the reason why it just doesn't sit as flat. I do know, obviously, once you get the Jubilee, they sit flatter because there's more flexibility in that bracelet design. But I
Yep.
think if I had to guess, the Oyster, that's probably the reason why.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I do believe you are correct. I think that first link right next to the end link, if it was you know able to articulate up a little bit further, it would sit a little bit flatter. But I
Yeah.
mean, not that most people sit down their watch like that, in the first place. But that was just one of the things I noticed. I was like, hmm,
Hmm.
I wonder why it does that. Because I mean, I have multiple watches with oyster bracelets and stuff like that, and I hadn't really ever noticed any of the other ones doing it.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. It was just one of the things I picked up on, and it was like, I wonder if that's just because between here and here was so tight. But now
Yeah.
that you say it, like I can see where those ones just they don't go out flat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a mixture of both, really. It's the tight tolerance of the bracelet links combined with the angle of the lug and the end link piece of the bracelet, in my opinion. Yeah, I think there's an iteration coming of that, a new iteration coming of those bracelets with the set screws and also just with the proper sizing applied. And I think that will allow us to kind of solve some of this. But at the end of the day, like, I told him like I want this to be the very best quality that the factory can produce. Like I want like give me everything that you can. So I want this case finished and brushed in a certain way. They did that. We wanted the bracelets. I said I do not want some janky bracelet that's going to rattle a bunch. I do not want this thing that's you're going to be able to see its daylight through it all the time. Um, and that's what we got. So in some ways it was a win, but in other ways it's definitely like, okay, well maybe we need to dial it back like a notch, not two notches, but maybe like a notch, just to help to add some livability to it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I really like it. It's both bracelets are very comfortable, and especially with the micro adjust that they have in the clasp. Um, and I mean, for me, looking at the pictures, I had totally forgotten this was a 43 millimeter watch,
Yeah.
and like even after wearing it, like it wasn't until I put the micrometers on it and I was like, oh
Hmm.
shit, this thing's really that big. Uh, it wears a lot better, than I would think, because normally I don't wear anything over a 40 millimeter,
Hmm.
maybe a 41, but like this one, this one actually fits comfortably and whatnot, and I think that's got a lot to do with because of the lug to lug you went with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it fits most wrists. Now you were saying earlier that it's 10% of the population have a bigger than 9-inch wrist,
A bigger than 8 inch.
bigger than 8 inch. Okay,
Yeah.
so what is the average most common size?
It's a little bit underneath 7 inches. It's like 6 1/4, 6 1/2 would be your average size wrist. And the
Wow.
bracelets from us, the Oyster does up to an 8 inch, and then not the Jubilee does up to like I think a 9 1/2. So they're definitely sized for the majority of the population, but there's discrepancy between the Oyster and the Jubilee that I gotta it's going to depend on the wearer if they like it or not. Like for example, we had another watch reviewer that had the Jubilee, and he took 3 links out, and it was like perfect for him. And we know, you and I know that okay, that means that all the permanent links were in. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, a situation where I'm going to just have to add something to the website to input your wrist length, and then I can resize it, or just let people know that if it doesn't fit with the removable links, then just take it to a jeweler and they can remove those permanent links for you pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, and like that's the whole thing, for anybody that's handy with the tool and understands things mechanically. It's like, yes, we understand what this looks like, but it's really not that big a deal and it's not that bad. But to those who don't, man, like, because the first time somebody explained it to me, and I do know these things, I'm like, "You're gonna do what?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm just gonna rip it apart. And I'm like, and then I stood there and watched him do it. It was actually my mood that showed me. And
Hmm.
like when he did it, he was like, "No, just watch it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's
And
just put together like that."
and for
Oh,
everybody watching, Mahmood is a certified Rolex and Omega service center. So he works on watches from the best of the best for servicing. So if he's giving this direction, you know that this is kind of how things are done.
yeah, it just, but yeah, like my mood is like I am. You know what I mean? He just tells it bluntly and plainly. And like I said, when he grabbed that thing and just did like this, I'm like, but he's like, boop boop, it's all done. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, well, shit. I was like, that's not that big a deal. I was like, damn, I could have done that myself. And like, obviously,
Yeah,
like
he's
that's
got
how I do now. But
right.
yeah, it was just, it was one of them things that when I went to size up my bracelet, and I'm like, I'm not absolutely positive I didn't do the research like you did or whatever, but I was like, I am pretty positive my wrist is like the most common size it is out there,
Yeah.
or if not, like very close to. So if it's way too big for me, it's going to be way too big for everybody else. Um, and like that's what I was talking about earlier about like what is the right move. You know what I mean? Just
Hmm.
let them handle it before it gets there. And, of course, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because the one
Hmm.
guy you handled it for, and he's like, no,
Hmm.
I
Yeah, I
got a
thought.
10-inch
I,
wide fucking ham hock on my elbow.
Yeah, this is one of the fun parts of the whole thing, really, honestly, is you design something with an intended purpose in mind, and someone will come with a different purpose, and you're like, wait a minute, I hadn't thought about that. So I think this entire discussion really can be summed up with, we're getting market research in real time. And we're able to adapt to it because it's not like as if we have too little links. I think that's the bigger problem, right? Imagine shipping watches with, built for like a 6 inch wrist. Like you'd be in a lot of trouble from an
Yeah,
inventory perspective.
yeah,
So I think having more is better than having less, and it's just going to be a matter of what people need, and it's not something that's hard to fix, which is I think the best part about it. So just the other day, actually, I had someone who wanted a 3 link that was extended, so I took 2 3 link out of inventory and I combined them basically to fit their wrist, and that's off on their wrist right now, happy. So a lot of things we can do.
yeah. I mean, it's always one of them things that it's always better to have more.
Yeah.
It's better to have too many links than.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
100%. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I
Because
mean,
otherwise, I'm having to just like, okay, I got some watches now without bands. Like, what do you do with that, right? So yeah.
man. So all right,
Good
looks
question.
like we got a question over here. Hang on, so we'll put that up on the screen.
Watching the internet is one of my followers from TikTok. We've been chatting a little bit over there, and just want to say thank you for joining the live today. It's good to see you. So love the fact you went with a Rolex style case back for the Maritimer. What was the thought process in going with that? Then just going with the standard screw down case back. Oh, well, thank you. The thought process there wasn't overly complex, frankly. The thought process there was I'm doing a Rolex homage, and I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't like a one-to-one Mercedes hands, rip off of the design that they've used. So I just made like very subtle changes, which are, we changed the hands to be more broadsword, added the red elements in reference to the old 16083 reference Rolex, which was quite popular with the red subtext. And then, to balance that red on the dial, added red to the second hand. So it's more of a pointer sweep. And so those kind of things help make the dial pop out a little bit more than normal on one of these watches. And then from the case back design, it really just came down to, what would fit the logo, what would fit the branding, and then also be able to be used for people to service it when it needs to be serviced. So I would like to say that there was, some stroke of genius with that idea, but there really wasn't. It was just coming down to, making it as close to the homage as possible without completely like being a carbon copy.
You went with the quartz movement also to help keep the price down and more affordable for everybody.
That and also, 100%. There is, I could have thrown in an NH35, but I was having such bad luck with the quality control on those that I was actually actively trying to get rid of those from all my watches. And I also just feel like, a good quartz diver at that price point, I mean, really, like, what more do you need? $100 and you have a quartz that is extremely reliable. It's going to have battery life of 3 to 4 years. Like, you're going to be able to dive with this watch to 20 ATM. I mean, it's going to be your everyday beater. You can scratch it up. You can, throw it around and not really worry about it. And I thought that if you add an automatic to that, you kind of ruin that a little bit because the automatics are a little bit more fragile if you, really abuse the watch, right? So I think that the quartz helps with keeping it in that daily beater type category. Well, still looking really good. I actually have a few customers that like they have all the expensive watches, extremely expensive watches, and they'll just wear the Maritimer because they know that if it gets scratched or if it anything bad happens to it, it's $100 versus something that they paid 5 figures for.
I hear that. And on that one, does is it a fully milled clasp with just micro adjustment, or is it got any kind of other like on the fly or anything? Or
we didn't do on the fly for $100, but what we did do is we got rid of the ugly clasp that had like the fold over on it. And it only had, I think, 3 micro adjustment holes. What we did is we went with one that's a milled clasp that has 6 adjustment holes. And so now you're allowed. Now, I mean, while it doesn't have on the fly, you can at least adjust it pretty precisely to your wrist with the 6 position clasp, and the milled piece to it. Just, in my opinion, like I'm not a huge fan of stamped steel clasp design. It just looks really cheap to me. And I feel like on a watch that's trying to mimic something that's higher end or look like something that's higher end, you should have something that it's not one-to-one of the real one, but at least provides you some quality.
I hear that. Any diver extension on it, or is it just the micro extensions?
Just the micro extension. There's nothing overly complicated about the clasp on this watch, because it really is just serving that.
Yeah, the price point.
Yeah.
I understand. I just figured I would ask the questions. Get it out there.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see what else.
I have gotten requests to add an automatic to the watch, but that's really where, in my opinion, Seafarer comes in. If you want an automatic dive watch, proper dive, that's where you go with Seafarer.
Yeah. Now, on the Seafarer in the future, are you planning on changing up the colorways at all, or are you going to just kind of stick with the ones that are working? Like, which ones are selling best right now?
Oh, that's a great question. So right now, we've gotten a lot of requests for blue and red. I've sold a couple white ones as well. Um, I'm trying to decide what my favorite my favorite is. Like I like black and I also like the white the best right now. But that's where the majority of the orders are. And so from a sales perspective, colorway design. With this particular version, I basically put together every colorway I could think of for the introduction of this. And there's a couple others that I didn't do, not on purpose, but they didn't come to mind at the time. So I wanted to see what sold, and then restock the ones that were selling, and then kind of, then release like limited edition colorways. So maybe we do an all yellow one, or maybe we do a purple one, or maybe we do a green one, or something like that in the future, and do it like on a limited edition basis. But I have actually been pretty impressed with how many people are really enjoying the red. It's much more of a crimson than a traditional red, and that's been one of the surprises of the lineup for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, to me, it reminded me more of like a fire engine red, or not quite burgundy, but just it's not like bright hooker red lipstick, but I don't know. It's a nice color red. Like, I'm not a big fan of red, but like it's not super bright to where it like screams "look at me," but it's very subtle and different. As far as like what you typically see on most watches, like the red that you see on like the Tudor Black Bay 58,
Hmm.
or even the Pepsi bezels and stuff like that. It is a very bright, almost like candy kind of red. This is more like a dark maroon. Uh, oh Lord, I don't know how to explain it.
It's like a crimson. Um,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, and yeah, that's exactly it. Like I didn't want something to be like bright red where everybody would see it from across the room. Like that's not really ever been the like style of La Touraine. But I wanted something that was interesting. So if someone did see it, they're like, "Well, wait a minute, what is that?" And that's really where the crimson came in, because we've seen some red watches, I think from Tag, and some from other manufacturers that were a little bit on the brighter on the contrast, and on this one it was more like a little bit of a low key, while still like kind of like, well, wait a minute, what kind of watch is that? And I think that might be one of the reasons why the red is as popular as it is, which I'm really grateful for, because that's, I think, my first red watch.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do notice here, especially looking at these pictures while we're talking and stuff, uh,
Mhm.
a couple of the pictures on the internet are not the greatest depictions of the actual colors you're going to get. Because like the red on the internet did not look like the red on the watch. So I would advise folks to check out a few of the reviews and everything like that, so you guys can see the actual color. Because again, not being funny and like not taking away from the pictures, because the pictures are beautiful, but like if you look at the blue here
Mhm.
and the blue in that picture, close but not, it's not the same shade.
Yeah,
Uh, because like
yeah,
what's in that picture there, that looks almost like an aluminum vessel,
yeah. These are so
AI
this.
generated.
So typically, what happens when you're doing like the watch ordering, as you know, like unless it's a massive order, they're not going to be able to procure you samples of each individual watch and the color, right, before they go into full production. And so you're using the mock-ups. I and when the inventory gets delivered, the first person I sent watches off to was our photographer, so that we could capture true to life images of these watches. And so those are not yet finished. So right now, what's on the website are the mock-up photos of these watches. And so I also added on photos from Big Wrist Syndicate, because he's a photographer, and I thought he did a really great job showing the white dial version. I did add those onto the website just so people can get a more realistic look. But yeah, until the professional photography is done, like it was done for Maritime or in Heritage Racer, uh, I'm kind of stuck with these right now. So I would say that in the next week or two, I'll start to get the real images in, and then these will go away from the website forever, and that issue goes away.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like no. I'm not bagging on you. I'm just again
Oh
because
no,
I know
no,
you're
I
transparency.
agree with you. They're not. I know I'm agreeing with you. I'm just explaining like how we got to the here, and then what
Oh
is
yeah,
being done to resolve that, because I want people to be able to look at the website and say, oh yeah, that's what I
that's
just
what I'm
bought.
getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what I just bought. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I fully understand, man. And that, like I said, it just you know, unfortunately, most people out there in the world, like they're like, oh, well, this and that, and I mean, every time I'm on Amazon, like anytime I'm looking at any of the watches that they're selling, like none of them have an actual picture of the watch.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost always an AI generated type
Mhm.
deal.
Yep.
Which again, comes back to like how we were talking about having to do the barcode thing.
Yep.
And I think that's just because these newer generations, like if the computer doesn't tell them to inhale, I think they're all going to suffocate. You know what
uh,
I'm saying? It just, you
yeah.
know,
Big
there has to
risk
be
to
a
advance.
video or something along the lines to tell them what to do and how to behave.
Yeah, Big Risk did a great job. I completely agree. I was blown away when I saw those photos. So quickly, like, made a deal with him to like, please let me use these, and you can keep you can keep the watch if you let me use these for the website. And he was like, deal.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great deal.
Um, but over the last almost 6 years now, the photographer we use for everything on the website is Andrew Bentley, and Andrew and we've kind of grown together in that, like, my watches have steadily improved and his photography has steadily improved for watches, because watches are probably one of the harder things to take a proper photo of, because the lighting is just so difficult to get right with a small, dial and behind glass. And then you have ceramic and all the different lighting that you have to fix and get in the right position, or else you're going to have glare, you're going to have just reflections. And so, starting with, I think, the first Heritage Racer, we started like click into like, okay, here's how you do this. And with these photos that are coming up with Seafarer, like I'm very excited, because I feel like we finally reached the point where A, the watches are where they need to be, and then B, the photography is going to be where it needs to be. And if you go to like Maritimer and you go to Heritage Racer photos, like that's starting to come in. He's starting to come into his own with like how we play with lighting so that the watch comes out looking fantastic on the website without you getting something in the mail and you're like, this doesn't look anything like what I just ordered. Which is always like, difficult too, right? You want to make sure that it looks lifelike. And I think that a lot of brands today, they are just using their mock-up photos to do these watch reveals. I wonder if it's due to like just the fact that they're carrying so many and photography is expensive. I'm just not sure, but yeah, I'm hoping to move away from that with every model.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I'm trying to do my videos and whatnot, it doesn't seem to matter how I do the lighting. I just get the reflections in the wrong times. It's like you can see the light up above it, even with watches with 3 and 4 layers of anti-reflective coating. Like in order to get just that clean, crisp, uh, like the thing rotating around. Like I don't know, Jen. I mean, again, I'm not a professional photographer, and obviously my videos demonstrate that I'm not. But um, yeah, it's such a pain in the ass. Even just trying to hold it up just to show people, because even like
Mm-hmm.
right here, right now, I'm not that far away from the camera. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Like I'm arm's length, but like I've got to hold the damn watch all the way up here in order for it to just kind of zoom in and kind of get a decent shot of it and whatnot. And yeah,
It's tough. And the other thing you mentioned about the movement of the time while you're trying to take the photo. So, from a dial perspective, you want to be able to view both hands. You want to be able to view the second hand, and you want to be able to view all the details of the dial as best as you can. So a while back, Rolex came up with the 10-10, hand position, because that shows you the most aspect, the largest real estate of the dial where all the subtext hits and everything like that. Well, if you're taking photos, time's still going on. So what you have to do is you have to actually set the time and then keep the crown on the watch out when you're taking the photos so that these things don't move on you. And then when you go into post production, that's when you're using Photoshop and you're basically chopping off the crown stem and moving the crown back onto the watch. So that's how you're able to do these photos without like the sweep hand just changing positions every time you take a shot and the minute marker moving all the time. And
Oh,
those are
I
really,
was just talking about how like they got the watch and like they're rotating around it, or like the watch is rotating while the camera is sitting still to give that panoramic type shot and
yeah,
everything.
that's
You
equipment.
know,
Yeah.
well, especially when they do all that and it doesn't hit any glare all the way around, but it's not in any shadows either,
Mhm.
type thing.
Did you see
Um,
that? I shared it. There was a behind the scenes video that I shared where Andrew basically turned an entire room of his house into like a watch photography room. And he was hanging like white sheets up and like had like black paper up on the walls and like had lighting in different areas of like the sheets. And like this, like, and it was like the thing was like on like a white ramp at a certain angle so that like the lens could be pointed down on it. It was a lot went into that.
yeah,
And it's just like if that's what it takes to get a picture, perfect photo, then you see like the rotation, like you're talking about, and all those things. It's just like they have a really nice setup going on, or they figured out how to work the lighting in that room to the degree that you can, because it's not easy. And like you, I'm terrible at photos, and I used to try to take iPhone photos, and it just doesn't work with watches without you knowing what to do. And I actually had one of the watch reviewers reach out to me privately in Movimiento, Brian. He's always giving me good feedback on every watch I've done. And he texted me one day. He's like, Dave, I love you, man. I love what you're doing, but you got to stop taking photos. Your photos are terrible. You got to get a photographer. And, up until that point, the photos were just so expensive. I wasn't able to just do it all the time. But thankfully, with the coming on into 24, I was able to start to hire Andrew out for more work, and that's allowed the photos to slowly improve. But I hear you, man. This is probably one of the biggest tricks in selling watches at all. It's just the photography has to be perfect.
yeah. I don't know, man. I think you should just go out and find you a couple of them Instagram hookers and whatnot, and they seem to make themselves look fucking all right and all kinds of funky ass angles and shit. Then you see the real photo of them and whatnot, I guess without the filters in it. Oh my God. So if they can make that look all right and like $1 million, I think they'd be able to do a hell of a job on these watches, man. It'd probably be a little cheaper too. But
That's like a marketing angle right there. Good looking
well, yeah,
watches,
I mean, I
no
look.
filters needed.
Well, I can't tell you how many of these women I see do all these videos and these whatnot, and they're just using iPhones and shit, and somehow their stuff magically looks. We'll use the term magically looks delicious, but it's not. Saying it's terrible. It's
Yeah,
you
it's different subjects. Like watches are just a much smaller uh, spot for the iPhone to focus on, right? It's harder for the
yeah,
like
yeah, and I'm sure Instagram doesn't have the make me look like a luxury watch when I'm not filter.
yeah, it really is the subject that makes the problem, and the watches are just a difficult subject to do photography on. If you ever are interested, anybody watching, Teddy Baldassare, he did a video on watch photography, going into like how they do it for their website and how they do it for their videos. It's really good. I sent that to Andrew a while back just because I was so blown away by what he was actually sharing. And yeah, the equipment they have is not an iPhone. It is top notch, extremely expensive equipment that they use for their videos and their website and everything. And yeah, the Instagram. I don't even know if Instagram will let you post a video, picture of the high definition that these cameras have to be capable of in order to deliver like the results that they get. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I've never had any luck. I'm not photogenic, and I apparently don't take good photographs because even like Sally Mae, my truck,
Mhm.
absolutely beautiful. I take pictures of it and whatnot. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna come out like banging. It's gonna look like something out of a magazine. It looks okay.
Yeah.
It's just meh,
Yeah.
But then like Gabe, my boss's kid, he knows how to to work different things and whatnot and blah blah blah. And he'll take a picture and it looks way better. And again, still with the phone, but looks way better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know. I can't figure out how to work the damn thing. You know, quite like I want. It took me forever to figure out how just to lock the screen from rotating. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When I didn't want it to be rotating, because like that was a challenge at first. It was just you bump the phone and all of a sudden, boop, the whole screen flips the other way. It's like, no,
Right.
that's not right. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some art and science to it. But I'm looking forward to it. And, I think, as we look ahead into some of the watches that I planned and I'm hoping to get done this year, photography is going to be a key part of it because the field watch that I'm currently working on is going to require really good photography, I think, because of the design elements that I've added to it are not going to be like just a typical flat dial and a chunk of metal watch case. Like there's going to be some design choices there that are going to help elevate it a little bit and make it our own. So I'm excited to be able to share more around the field watch coming up, and then also the GMT, Voyager GMT making a comeback in a different way than what it was before. So those are the two big things that I'm looking forward to getting into this year.
that's awesome, man. Like the Voyager was the other one that I was really looking forward to getting my hands on at some point.
Yeah,
Uh, I really like the way that one looks, especially the blue on blue, design. Or no, that one had a blue bezel,
black dial.
blacked out. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. So did Seafair. Blue bezel black dial was kind of like one of the things that had a little bit of a theme going for a little bit there. But the new version is actually going to be moving away from the dive watch aesthetic a little bit. Um, just because we have a lot of dive watches at that point, so it's going to be just a little bit different. And I think you're gonna like it, though. I do think you're gonna like it.
Bidirectional bezel or unidirectional?
It's going to be uh, without sharing too much because that kind of cuts to the heart of the design. It's going to be a polished bezel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Go ahead and change it up a whole lot.
yeah. It's going to be a little bit more. It's going to be just as capable, but it's going to be a little bit more dressy.
Gotcha. That'll work.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
send
Mr.
you some
Dave, I
photos.
appreciate you coming on here and everything like that, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and whatnot. I need to go take a break.
Okay.
Uh, all that coffee and whatnot is just killing me already. I'm sitting here twitching. So,
Well, thank you so
but
much for having me on. It's always fun to connect and to chat about watches together. For
oh yeah,
everybody,
no, most definitely. And everybody tuning in, please, subscribe to Dave's channel. Check out his Instagram page. Go check out the website. And if you're interested in purchasing anything, they do offer a 10% off for signing up for their email. Uh, and even if you don't want to get something right now, the 10% off I think stays good later on.
Mhm.
If not, you can always email Dave. Let him know.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will hook you up.
yeah, well,
Eric, thank you guys for watching. Everybody for tuning in. Dave for coming in and answering our questions. We'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Bye.
thank you, everybody.